Diamante!
Durante with a free header!
And the honour of Western United's first A-League goal goes to a familiar face. Bessart Barisha.
It's Connor Payne on the left.
Alessandro Diamante, the ball on a string. And
Oh, Diamante!
And the Western service crew are celebrating.
Welcome back to All Out West for the final week of games for the regular A-League season, and the chase is on for the Premier's Plate and peak grand final positions. This week, you're joined by myself, Wallace, and best attending this season, old Jaysicle. How you going, big fella?
Yeah, not bad. I wouldn't say it's the best. I have given it a crack, but it's been a rough season. Been a long season. So unfortunately, a few of the other boys can't be here tonight, but we've got the dynamic duo, the Dark Alliance,
Yep.
I reckon, for this podcast. So
The thing is, though, we've been struck down with injury, COVID, and yet we still soldier on. You know what I mean? We've still fielded a team of at least two. We could not handle a starting 11, but we're doing all right for like I think we take anyone in two on two basketball right now.
Oh, I don't know about that. I'd probably get fouled out and be 1-on-2 pretty quickly for you, Wallace. I'm not very good at basketball, so
that's okay.
Maybe table tennis.
Okay, that's
2-on-2.
probably
We'll go
better.
there.
I'm getting on. My knees are sore. But on that note of getting fouled out, we could Charlie Emery could probably he's got a bit of time this week, I reckon.
I'd say so.
Shortly. So we'll get into a bit of the club news. So NPL on Sunday, the 1st of the 5th, Western United NPL seniors and under-21s took on Melbourne Victory at City Vista. The under-21s lost 3-1, and the seniors, despite being a man down, Western United managed only a 2-1 loss, and they held firm, played very well. This game is actually on the NPL Victoria app, which I had never logged on to before and watched the game through there. Very good. And now one of the big points in the game that really affected the outcome was Charlie Emery was red carded with Mayen coming on between the posts and goal scorer Yanni coming off as well, just so that they could have a goalkeeper. Did you see this at all?
No, I honestly missed the game this weekend. I was actually pretty busy with the Aussie football and other things, so I actually didn't get around this one. You know, I obviously watched Western on Saturday, but both Friday and Sunday I was at the AFL, so I did miss this game.
Would you like to see it?
Yeah, I suppose.
Just give me a second. How are you finding the NPL sides going? I think we're traveling pretty well and really pushing for promotion. What do you think?
We are traveling pretty well, but I tend not to find out. Honestly, I do love my sport. I love a multitude of sport. I love Western United, but I find that the club could probably promote game times and stuff for the NPL a little better. I'd like to find out a couple of days before, because I always see an hour after the game started or 2 hours after the game finishes a post to a link of where you can watch Western United play. You know, so I miss half the games because half the time I don't know what time they're on. But I'll still take what are we, second, third at the moment?
I haven't got the
NPL 3.
NPL 3. I'll bring up the ladder. We've just made it fourth. We were coming first, which isn't too bad. Yeah. So we played 7, 1-4, 1 draw, 2 losses. Coming first is Melbourne City with 7 played, 5 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss on 16 points. We're on 13. Preston Lions coming second on 14 points. City tied for 14 points, but with a lower goal difference. So we're not traveling too bad. I've got the thing ready for you. Hopefully it works. If not, I'm going to look a bit silly. Can you see that?
Well, it's buffering. There we go. I can.
Sick.
Let's have a look. Don't have any sound for it, though. I don't know about you.
Anderson.
Does that work?
Now
nope, that does not work.
Centrally
okay,
for
we
Wilson.
probably can't.
There we go.
Forward. That time, a fantastic through ball for Binyam Kebede. Dashes past. Emery with the foul. Surely that's a foul. Not sure exactly if that was in the penalty area or not. Now Bello.
I'll have to see that one again, I reckon, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was...
Check it out. It's coming up. 100% out of the box.
It looks like, it's out of the box. It's a red card, unfortunately.
100% red card. Change the manner of the game.
Yeah.
Shout out to the MPL streaming service. Actually, really easily accessible. It's web based. I'm not sure if there's apps on some certain programs or what, but very easily accessible. Fast forward, rewind, all that jazz you want. Yeah. Sad the under 21s game wasn't on there though, which was a bit of a bugger.
Probably a bit hard to set up and record for all of them.
Yeah.
But it is pretty cool to see the MPL, on that app and, free for everyone to watch.
Yeah, and I think majority of the MPL leagues are on there, which I think this is a good way to get that second division happening. Although obviously you'd want money coming in through streaming rights.
Yeah, and we could talk about the second division for hours, but it's definitely obviously need more money in all the clubs involved because you can't have teams like St George's having A-League games, I suppose, but just because ground sizes and all that. But definitely a step in the right direction.
100%. Do you want to go into injuries?
Yep, injuries. So, unfortunately, Diamante's still injured. He did release this emotional post on Sunday. It read, you know how much passion I have and how much I care. Very frustrating moment for me. Despite the hard daily work, I have not improved as much as everyone would like. Sorry not to be helping my team in this beautiful, special, and delicate moment. Thank you all for the beautiful messages of love. I will continue to work harder and I will not give up 1 centimeter to get back to doing the thing I love most in the world. Soccer ball emoji, love heart emoji, Poibo. Spread smile and positive vibes. What are your thoughts on this post, Wallace? Personally, it's a nice thing to hear, but it is a bit disconcerting to hear that it's nice that Dim is trying to remain positive, but not nice that he hasn't progressed with his injury.
Well, that's the thing. And it also alludes to that they think he's up to that level of fitness. So I understand it. And especially at his age, you have to be more careful with rehabilitation. And I dare say if Kelsey was here, he'd go into a bit more detail about that. But it's for instance, if he was well, does he still get a starting 11 spot? We've been playing consistently good football without him.
It's a hard one to call at his age. That's the first season, 100%. He's the first name on the sheet, but now, who knows? And not just this season. What about next season? What do you reckon? You reckon he'll still be in the green and black? You reckon he'll still be playing for us? Maybe limited role?
I think maybe an impact or occasional, because how many games has he played this year? I don't think it's that many. I'll double check it.
Maybe one.
No, he's played more than that.
Started, sorry. I know he got benched. Oh, this year or this season?
Season,
he's played a couple. I don't even know if he actually has played this year.
So he's had 10 games and he's had 10 starts, but I'm pretty sure he's been subbed in out of most of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a hard one. It's an aging player. It's like Bessar Barisha. It's some people just don't know when they're cooked.
Yeah, and obviously you can't bounce back as quickly as when you were young. He is pushing it age-wise. I as much as I thought this would be his last season, I think he's got one more in him after this one, and that would 100% have to be the last. That's if he decides to play on. I think the club would definitely keep him on as best they could. He's been so good for us. Do you reckon though maybe have to take a wage cut? He'd get the same wage? I'm honestly not sure, but with how his contract goes, but you'd think he'd probably get a wage cut.
Well, if he's only going to play high, and this is again, I'm very pro Diamante. I very, very pro Diamante. I love his style. I love his finesse. I love what he's brought to our club. I love the positive vibes. I love that. But being a realist, I don't see him playing a 23-game season next year. I'd love to be proven wrong.
No.
And if he could, would he be competitive? That's it's a bag. I don't want to be asking that question, but I feel that has to happen. I don't know if he could do that, but I'd love to have him around the club, whether it be as an impact, whether he does a 60, comes out on the big games, does some cool shit. What about you?
I'd personally, it's a hard one because it's like you could also give, he's obviously taking up an international marquee spot. Who else could we grab for that spot? There's and we're sort of starting to come out of the buyer's market for players, because COVID's finishing up. It's evening out. Player prices are going back up. Wages going back up. So it's sort of a risk. It's like maybe we could get a better player on the cheap by letting Diamante go, or we hang on to Diamante another season, and then a player that we were looking at signing is now moved on elsewhere, and we can't get him, or someone's gone to a rival club. It's one of those things where I think you'd have to see how Diamante's going at the end of the season before the next A-League transfer period, see what he wants to do, see how well he feels, and just go from there. But ultimately, it's the club's decision. It's not Diamante's. It's not ours. In my heart, no. I hope he stays. Though, because he's a great player, giving us already a lot of memories in his short time playing for the club. So,
but having such same. Sorry to cut you off. I'm exactly the same. Right. He's West Ham, he's got that pedigree. They tweeted him for his birthday. Having him in the green and black is great from an SEO standpoint. Having him there is great for brand recognition. But yeah, it's that game day stuff. How long can you continue to play? I'm almost 35. My knees ache. You know what I mean? I don't know how he does it, and I'm not an athlete at all. But yeah, that's it. I thought I did my back just getting up one day. You know what I mean? It's
I'm 26 and I did my knee walking around in Tassie. The year before I was fine. What's going on?
You're getting on, mate.
I am.
Yeah. Hopefully, again, raises what would have happened if he had it. We'll get into we don't want to keep going on about this.
Anyway, that's it for injuries. So I suppose on to the game review.
Oh, beat me to it, big fella. Good work.
Oh. Sorry, mate. I'm too good.
So, under the Gosford lights in front of 5,273 people and a number of Ospreys, Western United went tooth and nail with a free scoring and very enthused CCM side to only a 1-0 loss, which, if you take into account our injuries and where our squad's at versus where it could be, this isn't too bad. Now, I want to talk about a few key points in the game. CCM have been have not been goalless. Have been goalless one of the last 9 games, with 5 of those games with 3 or more goals. I'm talking 5s, 4s, a 3. They're free scoring. Their attacking prowess is top point right now. And our defense stood up and managed to keep that margin low. And Cumdog was coming at us. It felt dangerous most of the time. What did you think?
Watching that game, I thought we'd be lucky to escape with a point because they were. I think with the home crowd backing them, especially, and their free flowing style, their freedom up front. Obviously, we've seen Grang Qual, who would go on to score the winner, but Cumdog as well. They're playing without, they're just playing unbridled. They're allowed to do what they want to do. They've hit a purple patch of not just form but confidence, and they're almost scoring for fun. So that was always going to be a rough thing to defend against, especially an away game after traveling from Tassie back to Melbourne and then up to the Central Coast. Now we're going to be heading to Newcastle. So this is going to be a pretty travel heavy week and a half.
It's only a trip down the F3, man.
Yeah, I know, but have you ever been to Newcastle? It's not a place you'd exactly be excited to go to.
I like Newcastle. The Hunter Valley's beautiful, man. I actually quite like Newcastle.
Hunter Valley's beautiful. Newcastle, mid.
Oh yeah,
I'll say it's mid.
There's a reason why Silverchair were a grunge band, but I was just about to say something. I forget.
That's all right. That being said, defense stood up for a lot of the game. but it was that injection. I suppose we'll get into it, but yeah, very, very grindy game. We had our chances, obviously didn't take them. We just on a night and day between our Perth game a few weeks ago and this game. Just we were putting balls into the box, sort of to no one. We had chances, half chances, couldn't make them full chances, and ultimately that's what cost us the game. Just didn't have enough killer instinct going forward.
Yeah, I actually remember what I was going to say. Shout out Crossbar Capers. I haven't heard from those guys in a while. Shout out. Hope they're doing well. Yeah, that's what I just remembered. But yeah, now moving on to the game, a major moment for West United was the injury and substitution of Lustica in the 10th minute, with Wales dropping to that midfield kind of creative role and Pierre is taking the forward position. How do you think this went? And ultimately, did this predict the outcome? Determine the outcome, sorry.
I don't think it determined the outcome, but I felt at that stage in the game, losing Lustica and having Wales drop back was definitely stifled creativity going forward. I like Parias. I like Lustica, and I like Wales as well. I like that front three, but I think Lustica needs to be sort of in the middle, like in the Perth, during the Perth game. You sort of want Lockie playing a bit further forward than he was. He was playing back, playing a lot of balls, not getting up as much. Still was one of the best on the field. Don't get me wrong. Gave us pretty much all of our attacking chances came through him and Payne. But losing that sub early sort of reshuffled us and threw us off going forward. And I don't think we ever really got the tempo back going forward in that game. Definitely, like I said, I don't think it cost us the game, but it definitely didn't help us.
I think Wales is doing really well being played out of position, doing playmaking and trying to create chances and those attacking things. But the reason he's in that position is because we lack depth in midfield. You know what I mean?
We really do, yeah.
And that's
especially with no Diamante, because he'd be a perfect player to bring on.
Pasquale would have been good. You know what I mean? And Lustica going out is really just hopefully it's not a long-term thing. But yeah. And to be honest, I prefer Wales in that attacking role as opposed to the midfield. I think he's really good in that. Him and Payne link up well. Yeah.
His pace is just too dangerous to be wasted. I mean, that being said, I think he had a passing accuracy of 100% this game. He put in 4 or 5 crosses. They weren't as accurate, but made a bunch of positive runs. Never lost the ball when he was just passing it. So it's not like he can't be a ball-playing midfielder. I just think his pace, more so than his talent, is wasted in the midfield. He just couldn't seem to get in behind players as per usual. That being said, Central Coast's defenders pretty quick.
Yeah. Let's just talk about them for a minute. Did you hear on the telecast after the game that I'm not sure of his position in the club, but he was announcing that, hey, next week, the final game of the season or whatever, is probably a good game for the regular season, is probably a good game to come down to, because it's rumored they've got new owners.
Yes, I did hear about that. What day was that? The Central Coast last game?
Oh, I think it's Saturday. And they got a bring your mates. It's an F3 derby again, I think. But
awesome.
Yeah. Which they'll be going for blood. They've even letting Newcastle fans in for free. They want to pack it out. I really us being a regional club, which we are, although we don't have our home ground yet. I really empathize with the CCMs and Newcastle because they are regional. They have those different sets. They are closer to their community base. And yeah, it's really good to see. They're even letting their arch rivals in, man. You don't see Batman letting the Joker in anywhere free. You muted yourself, man.
I think if I don't talk for an extended period or for 30 seconds or so, it just automatically mutes. So I think that's great as well because F3 derby, not the biggest derby. There is a bit of bad blood, But as a neutral, that'll 100% pull me in. I'll watch that game. I'm very excited, especially if it's a packed stadium, Grouse Stadium up in Gosford. 100% keen to watch that one on Saturday. I didn't realise that it was a derby going into the last round.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they announced it because I only know from that.
I'll have to double check, but
yeah, I really want to see those clubs get on their feet because I think, again, we spoke about this about the transfer market last week, is I think they will be a club that will really benefit from that. And they even got the Coasty Watch guy, the guy who does the vlogging and the YouTube clips, and they got him on the club social medias for the day. He's gone around engaging with clubs, and he's like, "This is amazing." I remember watching the club when I was like 7. So that's really, I like the engagement they have. Again, it's that regional nature. We're going to get back into our side of the things because we're not them. But just a few positive things for the A-League, which is what I like personally.
Yeah, that they play tomorrow in Brisbane, and then I assume their last game of the season is 7:45, Saturday the 7th against the Jets. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah, 100%. That'll be a banger. Shout out Crossbar Capers. I'm a little bit. I like CCM. Like I'm liking CCM lately. Jets. I'm sorry, Crossbar. But let's get back to our game. I think the glaring issue is moving the ball forward and converting shots on goal, which you kind of touched on. With 52% of possession, we were only able to manage one decent shot on goal. What can be done to inject life into our attackers?
Man, I'm not sure. For starters, bring back Risdon. The sooner he gets back, the better. I love, obviously, watching him play down that side. I think another fast start would really help because we sort of have been starting games fast for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then sort of bombing out. But I reckon if we could get 15, 20 minutes of sustained pressure and then still be able to nick a goal before halftime, that would definitely help as well. But like, honestly, I'm not sure. It's hard to call. 1 week we're on fire. The next week, we've just got nothing going forward. So Previc's still doing everything he normally does, pressing. Sometimes we're just finding the crosses. Some weeks we're not. I think maybe it's just that's the way she goes at the moment. Hard to call, but obviously with finals coming up, we're going to need to be ready to, go all or nothing at some points. I think I'd definitely be practicing crossing and heading and shooting at training over the next few weeks.
100%. It's one of those difficult things to go, what is 1 point? And I've got a few more things on this, but it's so, you just want, we saw CCM dig deep and get that goal. We saw them change tactic and break us down. And we saw that build up of play and find our weak spots to do it. I feel we need to do that better. And sometimes we're too insistent on waiting for more people to get to the box than just getting them on the break and shooting. We're too hesitant. Sometimes that about Previc annoys me a little bit. It's like, dude, just have a shot on goal. I'd rather you have a shot on goal than and at that same point, he's got some amazing assists this season by not being selfish.
Yeah, and that is what I like about Previc. He's goal hungry, but he's not to the point where it's at the detriment of the team. He will share it around.
Yeah,
he will cross it across the box for that sweaty ball. The sweaty feet style goal. So
yeah, I know it's one of those things. I want it to dig deep. Now, Garang Kual, sorry if I pronounced that incorrectly, sealed the winner in the 81st minute, which we've touched on. 7 minutes after coming on, which was a great goal. In contrast to Aloisi, who brought on our young impact subs Milo and Bayu in the 91st minute. Was this too late to make any impact?
100%. Tactically, the Qual coming on in the 81st was perfect. He's a fast, young striker with the world at his feet at the moment. You bring him on, 81st minute, he's refreshed, he's ready to go. What is he, 16, 17 years old, got pace to burn for 10 minutes, and he scored, and he's got his shooting boots on this season. So, honestly, a good, great thing to see. just wish it wasn't against us because I think he's definitely a future talent like his brother. But yeah, just I think we mismanaged our subs, to be completely honest, and they made their subs perfectly. Qual was a
100% agree.
great call.
And Penner came on as well. Great, perfectly done. But I
Mm-hmm.
don't think we had the depth to really make any quality subs at that point. On the note of Qual, Aloe made this post-game tweet, which was, Wu could have had Aloe and Garang back in their Shepparton days easily, ! I was left on scene, aha, ! This was made post-game. Did you see this on Twitter?
I don't have Twitter, and I'm glad because that has depressed me. That has really depressed me. Especially, you know, Alu, one thing, but letting them both go, oof, that's rough.
I think, it would have been good, but scouting and recruitment is such a difficult thing because you don't know how well people are going to perform. Again, you don't know if the environment you provide they're going to excel under. Like, look at Valentino Yule. He's having a pretty good innings at Newcastle Jets.
Yeah. And who knows if the Quals would even have a run. You know, Central Coast were able to give them a run because they were struggling finding players. Now they've got players and they've got the, you know, youth that they've been able to inject into their team. So honestly, in the final series, which they are going to make by the looks of things, they could be a real problem to everyone. Would not be surprised if they can get into a granny.
I would not be mad. If we get knocked out by someone else, I would be like, yo, CCM, I like a good underdog story. Again, the regional club. Now, not to sidetrack us further, but Qual made his debut for SV Sandhausen on loan from VfB Stuttgart 2 and was carded almost instantly. Did you see this?
Yeah, it was a real attacker's challenge, very agricultural.
Musket would have been proud of this one.
Oh, yeah. It was probably one of the worst challenges I've ever seen. Very worthy of a red. Hopefully his next game, he makes a bit more of he makes a different kind of impact, should I say. Because he definitely made an impact for all the wrong reasons in this one.
Well, I think his home guard. I was listening to More Than a Game earlier today, and they said that he actually got his club he's actually signed to might be relegated, so he might be back there, not on loan. So shout out More Than a Game, amazing podcast. It's all like what I listen to because they have good summary of things that I wouldn't have the time to look into. But did you see the crowd and the fan? That felt like the animosity in that stadium post that movement. I thought that a fight was going to break out. That was 10 out of 10.
It was great. Made for great watching. Dangerous challenge though. You honestly don't want to see it, but I believe the bloke he tackled was all right in the end. Just did make for an entertaining. I suppose. Obviously, I didn't watch it. I'm not big on the German divisions, but you'd assume it made for a much more entertaining game after Qual got sent off because I did see the afters and it looked like it got pretty heated.
100%. Now we'll move on back onto our game with Dia, Rizzo, and possibly now Lustica out injured. What could be done to ensure a good finals berth?
Maybe send them to Mexico, stem cell research, get stem cells injected straight into their spinal cord because we need them back ASAP.
Oh, that's some very Joe Rogan stuff right there.
Yeah, I reckon send them down to Puerto Rico or something like that. But do we have any? We should have probably had Lustica in the injuries. I missed that. But
no,
do we have any?
We don't have any update.
Yeah,
they didn't. I didn't watch the post press conference, but
yeah. Well, let's hope it's just a corky or something like that. Something that's going to be resolved in the next 2 weeks because Lustica top 5 players of the season so far this season. Obviously, Diamante, a legend in his own right, and Josh Risden, probably our best Socceroo. three of our biggest players out does not help. We still got a decent amount of quality in the team. Obviously, we've got Killer, who I think is going to really have to step up and be a leader.
I think he does, though, to be honest. I think he's been amazing. I really enjoy watching him swear at Lockie Wales.
Yeah.
It brings me...
He's like, I don't know, it'd be like if your uncle was coaching your footy team, but he knows all the boys, you know. He really gets into them. But I don't think it's a negative. It's not negative reinforcement on the same token. It's just his passion shining through. And I don't think, obviously, he swears and has a go, but you know he doesn't feel that way towards Lockie. It's just he feels that way towards Lockie's action in the moment, you'd say. Yeah.
As a parent, it's the I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed situation. But
Yes.
if I put a scale to you right now, on one side is a pat on the back. You did okay, buddy. Positive reinforcement. And 10 is Mark Rodan calling Curto a C word. Where would you put Kilkenny to Lockie Wales?
Ooh, probably an 8, I'd say, at the very least. But it's like you say I'm not angry, but I'm disappointed. But they're also angry. that sort of you know when your parents say I'm not angry, I'm disappointed, but they're both angry and disappointed, so it's a double whammy. Yeah,
it's kind of a lie. Now, any final comments on this game?
Could have been much worse. Luckily, it was only 1-0. Luckily, we've still got 2 games to go, and we can still finish top 2. I think our minor premiership run's probably over, barring a poor Melbourne City outing. But I honestly don't see us getting 6 points from the final 2 remaining games. I'd be pretty content with 4. Hard to call. But yeah, on to the next one, on to finals, because we've 100% made those.
Well, we'll get more. I'd rate this performance. Like, I think we spoke about this at the start of the season, like top 6 for us was kind of the metrics for like success. I think we said top 4. We guaranteed that.
Yeah, well, 100% guaranteed top. I'd say guaranteed top 4, but like, at the position we were in earlier, I'd say top 2 has to be what you're shooting for now. And obviously, the minor premiership was always like, oh, can we do it? Can we do it? Probably not at this point. That was probably, you know, it's probably put us in a bad spot now. But I'm sort of 50-50 on whether or not we'll make top 2. It all comes down to the Wednesday night game. It all comes down to how we, play against, I think it's the Jets on Wednesday. So looking forward to that one. But that being said, it wasn't our worst performance on the weekend. Could have played a lot better, but it wasn't our worst performance. Something to learn from.
Exactly. Now we'll go on to Player of the Year votes.
Did you want me to go through those?
Yeah, why not?
Awesome. So we had, starting from Leb, Young, Wales, and Tamoki Imai. Young being 3, Wales being 2, Tamoki being 1. I had the same votes, 3 to Young, 2 to Wales, 1 to Imai. Kelsey had 3 to Young, 2 to Wales, and 1 to Imai as well. So we all copied each other. And this is where it stops being copying. Scotty had Connor Payne, which not a bad shout, but you're wrong there, Scotty. Sorry. 2 to Lustica, which I do rate, and 1 for Milo. Scotty obviously not being too happy with our performance on the weekend. Scotty being a bit more of a cynic, but we love him. And Wallace, you had 3 to Young, 2 to Payne, and 1 to Neil.
Yep. And I would just like to give a shout out to Scott for saying the tagline for 2 points to the sticker for getting out of there when he did. That was his tagline. Group chat was on fire that night. I think Scotty had a couple bevies. Yeah. It was a bit of a fun one. It is what it is. Do you guys want to know who's winning?
Yeah, shoot it through. I have to be Jamie Young. Young after this round.
I don't think he could lose, but Jamie Young on 102 points coming first. Coming second, we have Stephen Lustica, 25 points down, which we've got 2 games left. He could theoretically win. Jamie Young, screws up again on 77 points. Leo Lacroix coming third on 72. Alexander Prijovic coming fourth on 63. Lockie Wales coming fifth on 60 points, which he will be our young player of the year if no one overtakes him. Joshua Riston coming sixth, and he hasn't played a game since, we haven't given him points since round 12. Coming sixth on 57. Connor Payne coming seventh on 54. Garuccio coming eighth on 49. Did you think he'd be such an important player to this club this season?
Yes and no. I thought he'd be solid, but I didn't think he'd be as important as he has been, to be completely honest. He's been much, much better than I thought he would. I'm very happy with that. And I think he'll only continue to keep getting better. He has sort of had a lapse the last couple of weeks. Obviously, didn't give us too much creatively going forward last week, but, there's always the next game. And he's definitely shown glimpses of his greatness, especially, I think it was the Sydney game where he scored the Scorpion.
Yeah,
I think it was. I can't remember. I was at the game, though. It was pretty cool. But, yeah, he had a grouse game that game. Hopefully he can replicate that sometime in the near future.
100%. Number 9, Nikolai Topper-Stanley. Same thing. Another player, again, probably wasn't expecting him to be his starting 11 every week, but had a solid innings. And number 10, Neil Kilkenny, 38 points. I wouldn't have picked that.
You know what's weird, though? Neil Kilkenny was leading after 3 rounds, and he's not scored much since, but he's also been underneath the radar a lot of the time, pulling the strings in the background, and just hasn't been able to crack into the points as much as he probably should have. I don't think it's indicative of how well he's played this season.
Unofficial captain in my eyes.
I'd say so.
He's got an authority on the pitch. He's an amazing player, great touch. I wouldn't be mad if he stayed with us next season. Not sure if he's got another full season in him again. He's getting older. It's you don't know what he wants from life.
I thought he was 14. He's wearing braces.
He does. He's got a young face. Good on him. He's got the fountain of youth.
Yeah.
How old is he?
I'd say you have to be mid-30s.
He started his career in 36.
There you go, 36. He's getting on.
Yeah, just put him out to pasture. Jokes. He's actually amazing. He's probably, for me, one of the interviews I want to do before the end of the season.
100%.
He's been such a good quality of the club, such a wealth of experience. A number of Gunners fans on the podcast, like yourself, Jay.
Yeah, I'm a big time Gunners fan, aren't I?
Kelsey wasn't on. Someone had to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, he had experience there. It's great, been great for us. Did you want to keep moving?
Yeah, we'll move along. So onto the game preview. On Wednesday, Western United will take a trip down to McDonald Jones to take on the 9th place Jets. In the tail of the tape, we've 4 wins, 2 losses, and a draw against the Jet, whose season's almost over, easily finishing bottom 4 unless Sydney and Western United shit the bed.
Technical terms there, sir. Technical terms.
Obviously, both teams with a shortish turnaround time. What are you expecting from this game, Wallace?
Oh, man. I'm hoping for a win. They're still dangerous. The thing about this league and what everyone, I think, forgets, which makes it so interesting, is most teams can beat any other team on any given day, bar Perth and Wanderers. This season anyway, but CCM can be a nuisance at any time. They're not bad. Valentino Yule, they've got some great players, and for the budget they have,
the Newcastle Jets, not the CCM.
Damn it, they're just on my mind. They're playing amazing. No, sorry.
You're right.
Beers. I've necked 2 beers since the start of this pod, and I'm on 3 hours sleep, so I'm going great. No, Newcastle Jets going great for you get bang for your buck with them. they're a good like budget team, and they'll if you screw up like we can, especially defensively, midfield, if they can dominate our midfield, we're done. I think I'm not sure if we're going to rotate because we don't have people to rotate. It's going to be the standard three, standard four in the back, Am I on the right, the right fella, Richie on the left, two centre backs.
I'd say it's just honestly, I'm not sort of fussed about the team we put forward at this point. I'm not going to even speculate lineups because there could be anything, as long as it's all down to how well we train and how well we play. I'd say. Also worth mentioning, the Jets coming off a massive win against MacArthur, smacked them 3-0 Sunday, and I think that was away. So the Bulls are in trouble. I'd say that's season over for them. Newcastle playing for pride, and they've had rough patches this year, but it probably doesn't like their spot. I wouldn't say is indicative of how well they've played at times this season, because they've been a real problem for a lot of good teams. That being said, we could get depends on what Newcastle turns up. We could easily beat them, or they could easily beat us. I think it'll be a fun game on Wednesday night, either way.
Yeah, midweek footy to cast like for the last week of standard season is really amazing. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, as am I. Keen to get into it. Probably for that one, I'd say there's a few Werribee fans heading down to the Sporting Globe. I'd say there's a pretty decent chance I'll be down there myself. Talk to Leb. He'll probably come as well. I've still got to just double check with Brooke that we can get in and watch the game there. But with 2 games to go, both of them being away, I'll probably be going down to the Sporting Globe for one of, if not both those games, just to enjoy it while we can in the regular season. I'm not going to be making Adelaide, unfortunately, just financially and time wise. It's not a great time for me to travel, but hopefully in the finals we'll get to see the boys play at least 2, hopefully even 3 more times. And enjoy that to round off the season. But if anyone from Werribee, get down to Sporting Globe on Wednesday night. Be keen to see you there.
100%. Any score predictions, buddy?
Damn, I'm going to go. My soul wants to say 3-2. My heart wants to say 3-2, but I think 2-2. I think it'll be a high scoring draw, 2-2.
I'm in the 2-1 camp. We will concede, but we're going to get the win.
I think we'll score, then concede, score, then concede.
Oh, that does sound like a very us. Like we give it a good solid 15 minutes at each start, like at the start of the first half and the start of the second half, and then we're kind of like defense mode.
Yeah, it is a depressing way, but honestly, I think it's going to be a draw regardless. I hope we at least get a point from this game, and then I'd like 4 from the next 2 to round off the season. At least 4. I think that sends us into the finals somewhat strong. But as long as this game is also sort of about resting, because we do need to. I'd say Adelaide game's more important going into the finals on a win.
100%. You want to move on to the Adelaide preview?
Yes. Forgot that we're playing them even before the next pod will come out. So on Mother's Day, shout out Kathy. Western United travel back in time to wonderful Adelaide city of churches and late comebacks. What are you expecting from this short turnaround time, Wallace?
I'm hoping that the team pivot to, like you said, focusing our efforts on this game being the harder game. But I just hope for a nice game, like good game, and hopefully Cavalo doesn't hurt us. That's really like.
You'd hope, and hopefully, actually no, I don't think anyone else is playing. But yeah, I'd say they've sort of been another up and down team, but I think we can definitely get the 3 against Adelaide for sure. And I really wish I could make it to that game, because I do love Cooper Stadium. Anyone who is going, you're going to love it. You're going to enjoy it. Anyone that can go. But yeah, excited to watch that one. Probably be at the Sporting Globe for that one as well. What do you reckon we're going to go? How do you reckon we're going to go score-wise?
I think it's be like I hate to say it 2-1 again, but I feel like it's going to be 2-1. Although, like, we are pretty good at shutting teams down. Like, despite some of the outcomes we've had, our defense is solid even on pretty bad days. And provided Jamie Young shows up, we're good. And they don't exploit his, I think we're going to do 2-1
for me. Oh, sorry, man. Hard one to call, but I'm going to say 3-0 to Western. And that's what I'm sort of hoping for. If I could be more accurate, 3-1. But 3-0 is what I'd hope for. And honestly, I think we definitely, if the right Western United shows up, we could easily get that done. So,
100%.
Looking forward to it. Just another note to any would-be travelling fans. Western United working on a cashback offer as a way of saying thank you to our most loyal green and black supporters. We're thrilled to be able to offer a member-exclusive $100 cashback on all flight tickets booked to watch our boys take on Adelaide in the final game of the season on May 8. We want to fill Cooper Stadium with our loud and proud fans and bring the boys home strong this season. So stay tuned to your member mail that should be coming through next couple of nights. Like I said, unfortunately, you just can't make it down, but that'd be an offer I would have loved to jump onto. Flights are not the cheapest at the moment, so the $100 cashback definitely helps. I think shout out to Andrew Tran also finding train tickets that were reasonably priced. And then there's always your car. If you're desperate enough to get up there, could always drive up. It's about an 8-hour drive from where I live in the west of Melbourne. Those are your three ways I'd say to get down to the Cooper Stadium if you were keen to go on Sunday. Would definitely recommend going Grouse Stadium. Damn, I'm just so depressed I can't go. But
it's a sad one. I'm the same. Again, it's Mother's Day. It's a hard fixture for a lot of people. Like I have a wife, 2 kids. That for me, I'll probably be pretty locked down. I'll probably get into the Sporting Globe. Might be a bit pushing it. See if I get in trouble. But, you know what I mean? Like it's a hard fixture. It's like the Tassie doing that over Easter. It is a bit like, you know what I mean? Like those 2 fixtures to me seem a bit off. But
yeah, and like unfortunately. Yeah, like I can't take any more time off work just to go to the soccer. And if I do, it's going to be for the finals. You better bloody believe that. So, it was a rough one for me. It's rough having so many away trips so late in the season, which really doesn't help. Because I like doing 2 a season, but we've only been able to do 1 trip this season. So, hopefully next year, we get our fixture released, no COVID interruptions. We don't have to, we can actually plan these sorts of trips rather than have to do them a week out. So it's definitely nice planning a month in advance, having something to look forward to.
But on that note, we will be at Sporting Globe.
100%. I'll be at Sporting Globe. Definitely for Wednesday. Sunday, I'll try the best to ditch Mum and get down there. 100%.
Oh, not Kathy.
Have to ditch. Sorry, Kath. I'll have to ditch.
Shout out,
The
Kath.
green and black's a bit more important.
No, you're right.
No, it's not. It's not. I'll make it up to it.
She wants a West United membership for her for Mother's Day.
I don't think there'd be anything that she'd hate more. Just because of the amount I talk about Western United. She doesn't mind the club. I just don't think she can stand the amount I talk about it. But that's neither here nor there.
Let's move on to the tipping comp. Methodical Flamethrower has won this 74 points. Like depending on the last 2 this week. Coming second is Woodster 99 on 70. Sherlock, Nick, you weren't going to win the prize anyway, but buddy, you've really dropped. Coming third, A-Trax. I thought you wanted another trophy to defile. Coming 4th on 66. Me coming 5th on 64. Harris Mania, shout out. How's he going? Good?
Yeah, he's around here somewhere. I think he's going all right. Should have got him in on this pod so it's not just us 2 dorks talking the whole time. I completely forgot. Oh, well.
Next time.
Next time, Mitch.
Levy T coming 10th on 53 points. The Joker Baby 16th on 38. And
No surprises
Scott
there.
tied 19th. Kelsey didn't appear, and he hasn't had a tip wrong all season. We know the joke, Kelsey.
Yes. But we need to get a soundboard with an applause button going every time he tells that joke, I reckon.
I had to say it because he's not here. He's like, rest up, Kelsey. You got your bit of the old out for sickness, but yeah. Do you have anything for around the grounds or carded?
No, not that I can think of. Around the grounds, I know my other football team, Liverpool, are going to be playing in an FA Cup final in a couple of weeks. Any Liverpool fans keen for it? We're heading into the Imperial for a 1:45 a.m. game. So we're going to be heading into Melbourne, getting dinner at about 6 o'clock at the Impy, and then having a few beers. And then, it's always a good night going out and watching some European football at a pub with some other like-minded supporters. Very keen, looking forward to that. It's the arse end of those seasons as well. So that's pretty interesting. I can't think of anything else more around the grounds. I think we've covered everything.
On a different note, Organectomy, Cranium, and Inhibitor are doing a Super Slam Bros Australian tour in September. I'm very excited. Cranium, classic. Some depraved album. It's going to be amazing to see that live. Organectomy from New Zealand. I've seen them before with Revulsed. Shout out Revulsed. This is going to be sick. Looking forward to the off season of like seeing some metal shows.
While we're talking about touring bands, we also have probably the best band out of Mongolia at the moment, The Who.
Are they touring, are they?
Yeah, they're going out and they're playing The Who, the HU, not WHO. The Who are playing at Russell Street. I can't remember what it's.
Billboard.
186 Billboards. That's it. Yeah, playing a gig there in a couple of months, and I'm tossing up whether or not I go. I reckon I do. I reckon I go to that one because they absolutely rock.
3rd of August.
Shout out to The Who.
That's a good name. They're pretty solid, man. Yeah, just a little bit of a sidetrack there, a bit of music. So shout out Dope Throne from Canada. I was listening to that before the podcast today. Sabbath vibes. It's great, but doom. That's all I have for today. Leb, do you have anything else to talk about?
I'm Jay. Leb's not been on the pod for about 6 weeks.
Oh, sorry. I was trying to give him a shout.
I miss him too, man. I know how it feels.
It's been a big time.
Yeah. Nah, I'm all done.
Yep.
Come on,
you do the outro. You do the outro, big fella. You're in.
What am I saying? Hang on.
It's not in the spreadsheet. It's not in the sheet.
It just says after carded.
CBF today.
You give it a crack, lad. My brain's gone.
We've been all out west. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. All that jazz. All west are we, Jay?
All west aren't we? I remembered that part.
Good work, buddy.